chance, would do witch hunts.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
take those same people, pick them up, drop them back in time to when the Salem witch trials. They would 100% be going around calling everybody a witch and wanting to burn everybody.
Oh yeah,
like
absolutely.
Those are the loops, crazies, like just freaking weirdos, man.
This is kind of a downer of a start, and I don't even have anything clever to really fade in. So I'll just fucking do it.
You're clever.
It is the SuperClash podcast, a podcast about shorter games. It is episode 56. I'm your host, Kale.
And I'm tired.
Hi, tired.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's going good. We're it may not be for you guys, but it's 13 minutes into us recording, and we just kind of went on a big tangent. And here I was thinking that, oh, there'll be something nice in here to kind of do a little fade in with our intro. No, it's all very depressing shit.
We're going in raw this time, aren't we?
Oh, Gil. But how was your week, Connor?
Pretty uneventful, honestly.
That's kind of how it was for me too. This week kind of just blended together. It wasn't necessarily fast, but it wasn't really slow either.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. And nothing really like big or eventful happened, so it's like...
Same here. I think the most eventful thing that happened with us is Lily and I, we got a rice cooker. And we just got like a 5-pound bag of rice, which is like $2. Rice is super cheap.
2 whole doll hairs.
Two whole doll hairs. And there's a lot of shit you can do with rice, man. I was really surprised. The first night we had it, I made yellow rice, so I mixed in a little bit of turmeric and some just turmeric. I should have put in like paprika and everything. And I made some Cajun style chicken. It was very good. And then the next time I used it, I made rice. I mixed in some garlic Alfredo sauce. A little bit of garlic powder, and then whatever chicken we had left over, Cajun chicken, I mixed it in, steamed some broccoli, and ooh, it was
nice.
It was so good. I ate that for like 3 days straight. You know your childhood is dead when you get excited for a rice cooker.
I don't know. I can't eat a lot of rice, honestly. It's one of those weird things that like it immediately fills me up. Like my body just can't process it. So like tonight I'm feeling like incredibly full because I had Indian food, and like one of the staples that goes with Indian food is like I think it's basmati rice.
Yeah.
And so like I am just so full right now and absolutely miserable still, and I ate like an hour and a half ago, so I'm like, bah.
You have one of those feelings where you're never going to eat again.
Pretty much. I ate way too much.
But yeah, so let's just actually we're not going to dive into this is that's kind of how this week has been.
I was going to tell you.
Yeah, you were going to tell me things, weren't
about
you?
A thing. With stuff of the thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched a movie on Shudder called After Midnight.
Yeah?
It's a very interesting movie, I'll tell you that. The whole premise is this man lives with his longtime girlfriend out in the middle of nowhere. I think it's implied that it's in the South. I do not remember the setting off the top of my head. And they are like, when it starts out, they're kind of in like this honeymoon phase. They just started dating. They're really close. They got really good chemistry. And then it fast forwards, I want to say it's 10 years later, and they're still dating. They're not married. And the girl ends up leaving. She leaves a note and says that she needs to leave, and leaves him there and does not answer his phone calls, does not do anything. At the same time, every night after midnight, something comes to his door and starts scratching at it and trying to get in.
Nope.
Yeah. And so he stays up every night with a shotgun and his couch up against the door, and he sleeps on that couch like right at the door. And so when it starts scratching, he like tries to like shoot at it and stuff, and he shoots it one time, but it ends up still leaving. And so he tells the people in the town about it because he works at the local bar. He's like the bar owner or whatever. And he tells his friend there and a few other people. No one believes him. and his, I don't know what you want to call him, his girlfriend's brother is in the town, and he's like telling him like, oh, he's the police officer in the town, and he shows up and he doesn't believe him despite the fact that there's literally like scratch marks, all like huge scratch marks on the door. He's like, oh, it must be a bear trying to get in.
Where does this take place at?
I want to say it has to be in the South.
Okay. I don't recall any bears being in the South, but I could be wrong.
Maybe like black bears, maybe?
Maybe.
But even still, like most of them, unless they're super desperate, aren't going to try to break in your front door anyway.
Yeah.
So fast forward. He keeps hunting for this thing. He gets his friend involved in hunting for it. No one believes it's a thing. And then after he chases it out into the woods one night and shoots it several times, he finds it eating his girlfriend's cat out there.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's a horrifying looking creature. And so he goes back home, and the very next morning, his girlfriend shows back up. Yeah.
What?
And she's like, why is the place a mess? What happened to the front door? It's my birthday tomorrow. I want to have a birthday party. Like all this stuff.
Kind of a weird way to make a comeback.
Yeah, and they never really address their like separation there. So he ends up fixing the front door and inviting over her brother and her brother's wife, and then like his friend and his friend's wife over. And so there's a bunch of people over. And in the middle of the dinner, they like, I don't remember what triggers it, but they like snap, and he's like, where have you been? What have you done? And she basically says like, I've wasted my whole life waiting around for you. They have this huge, it lasts for literally like 15 solid minutes of them just having this like domestic dispute in front of all these people about like how, she gave up going off to like college and getting a better job and all this other stuff in favor of living in this small town with him at this old rundown house and him working at a bar. And so he ends up saying, I'll make it right. We can sell the house, sell the bar, we can move, all this stuff. And he's sitting there at the end of the table, and this creature just breaks in, and it just tackles him in front of everybody.
Whoa.
And like completely like blowing my expectations. I thought, one of two things the entire movie. That either this creature was somehow his girlfriend.
That's kind of what I was thinking as you were telling me the story.
Like a werewolf situation sort of thing. Or that this creature was just a manifestation in his head of the trauma of his girlfriend leaving.
Mm-hmm.
It was neither. And he chases this creature into the room and like kills it with his bare hands in front of everybody. And that's just how it ends.
Damn.
It's
holy shit.
It's wild, dude. It's really wild.
We gotta check this out.
Sorry for the spoilers.
No, it's fine. Like spoilers generally don't bother me. So
it's just it was an interesting movie, and I thought it was worth sharing. Yeah.
Nice. I really got nothing in terms of.
You got nothing, dude?
No, I really don't. Other than like me trying out a magic character on Elden Ring, but that's really about it.
You and Elden Ring, dude.
I know, man. There's other games I want to play. I just don't have really the money right now to play them. I want to play Ghostwire Tokyo, but Ghostwire Tokyo is still $50.
$50?
Yeah, still $50.
$50 is a lot of money. $50.
It really fucking is.
Yeah.
But speaking of expensive,
no.
I'll tell you what was expensive. I botched this joke. I was gonna try to make a joke and segue into Max Payne 3, because Max Payne 3 isn't expensive monetarily.
We gotta talk about Let's Get Physical.
Well, hold your horses, sir.
You're hurting my feelings.
Hold your horses.
Horse held.
And tonight's see now I'm all like completely. you completely fucking derailed me.
Just talking about holding a horse, man.
I just fucking just. Thank you for ruining my segue.
Sorry, your segue is waiting outside with Paul Blart on it. There you go.
For tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about Max Payne 3. But before we talk about Max Payne 3, Connor, you fucking cretin, let's get physical.
It's cretin, but thanks.
God damn it.
We have a lot tonight.
Really?
Yeah, we do. So I guess I'll just hop right into it.
Why don't you?
Giggity.
Cretin.
The first game is Unsighted.
Okay.
Sells for $35. It's on Switch and PS4. And it's a limited run games exclusive. And in this game, Alma is an automaton that awakens to a world in ruin after the war with the humans. Anima, the resource that gives automatons sentience, is running out and turning Alma's friends into mindless killing machines, the Unsighted. Dun dun dun. Collector's edition is also available of this game for $65. Includes a poster, soundtrack, and keychain. Pre-orders end June 26th.
So they end when this episode releases.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. Beautiful. Anyway, the next game is Oxide Room 104. Retails for $30. It's on Switch, PS5, and PS4. It's a wide release. And Oxide Room 104 is a terrifying single-player body horror game based inside an old motel. Kidnapped and imprisoned under the mercy of a ruthless doctor, you must try to escape the perilous situation and avoid a hideous creature stalking you. You wake up in the bathtub of a motel room, naked, wounded, and with no memory of what happened. From this point, everything you do will lead you to one of 4 different endings. 3 of them are not good at all.
Oh, no.
Releases June 28th. That one seems really cool.
Sounds like a typical Saturday night for me.
Yeah, having a bad ending.
I was talking about wake up in a motel naked and not knowing who I am, but that makes it even sadder.
And it's also a bad ending.
True.
The next game is Birushana Rising Flower of Genpei. Retails for $50. It's only on Switch, and it's a wide release. And in this game, 15 years after the Heiji Rebellion, the Hiki clan has reached the height of its power, while the Genji clan remains devastated by defeat. Hidden deep within the mountains of Kurama lives Shinao, the youngest surviving male heir to the Genji name. However, Shinao harbors a deep secret known by very few. The youngest heir to the Genji name is no man. Torn between her duty to live up to the Genji family name and her desire to live a peaceful life, Shinao sets off in hopes to take down the Hiki stronghold and finally bring peace in the country. Her adventure leads her to find new cherished relationships as well as something deeper than the feud between the rivaling clans. That releases June 28th. That was a lot of words that I didn't know how to pronounce.
You actually read it really well.
Oh, thanks, Bish. The next game's another horror game. So a lot of horror games coming out. It's Phobia, St. Dinfa Hotel. Retails at $30. It's on PS5, PS4, and Xbox consoles. It's a wide release. In this game, you check into the St. Dinfa Hotel. I don't know why I wrote that. Treze Trilhas is home to the St. Dinfa Hotel, a decadent site that is the subject of numerous rumors, including mysterious disappearances and paranormal activity. Hoping to break the story, amateur journalist Roberto Lete Lopez travels to Santa Catarina following a tip from his friend Stephanie. His investigative skills will be needed not only to uncover the truth, but to survive when reality is turned upside down with his discovery of a camera that reveals different timelines, a fanatical cult, human experiments, and apparitions roaming the halls. Solve puzzles and scavenge for anything to stop their hunt as the past, present, and future collide.
This sounds freaking awesome.
Right?
It's almost as like a kind of a successor to Fatal Frame a little bit, just with the camera aspect.
Yeah. And it releases June 28th.
Nice.
So, the next one is probably somewhat familiar to you. Outriders World Slayer. Oh, yeah.
This doesn't translate well to audio, but what I'm doing
Shaky
right now
cam.
is I'm pretending to be the cameraman in Outriders, just shaking the camera as 2 people are standing still talking.
Yeah. It's $60. It's on PS5, PS4, and Xbox consoles, and is a GameStop exclusive. The Outriders World Slayer is a GameStop exclusive game that features 4 unique classes and customizable arsenal of brutal powers, skills, gear, and weapons. You are unstoppable, but even the formidable eventually meets something to fear in this brutal 1 to 3 player co-op looter shooter. Yeah, so it's essentially an expansion for the base Outriders game, and it also includes the base game if you don't already have it. You have the option to play the original campaign of Outriders, or you can skip through that and just play this if you want. It'll level you up to play these.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah. And it releases June 30th.
I've been tempted to kind of at least try it again.
Yeah, I do want to finish it. I want to play through it and finish it. And honestly, if I end up liking it, I think I'd like to play through this expansion too.
Maybe just the early game is just really rough.
Yeah, I've heard pretty good reviews of it, so.
Okay.
The next one is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Collector's Edition. It's $100. It's only on Switch. It's in a GameStop exclusive. And Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is the monstrous new expansion for Monster Hunter Rise, the critically acclaimed and top-selling Monster Hunter title. Monster Hunter Rise begins following the heroic defense of Kamura Village that concludes in Monster Hunter Rise. In addition to all the new storyline, the expansion will introduce new monsters, new additions to combat, the Master Rank quest difficulty, and more. This includes a steelbook, an amiibo, a sticker pack, and an enamel pin. Please note that this does not include the physical game. It is just a code for the expansion. It is currently sold out, and it releases June 30th.
Okay, so this is just a physical box with the code.
It's a physical box. Well, it's a big collector's box. I don't think there's actually like a game cartridge box in it.
Okay.
And then it includes an empty steelbook, an amiibo, the sticker pack, and pin.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. So, you are getting something physical out of it, so I included it. The last 2 are Evercade games.
Nice.
We haven't had one of these, I don't think, yet. The first is Morph Cat Games Collection 1. It's $20. It's only on Evercade, and it's a wide release. You can get it anywhere. The Morph Cat Games Collection 1 features 3 fantastic 8-bit indie games, including Micro Mages, Bobble, and Space Gulls, plus a standalone expansion, Micro Mage's Second Quest, and the Super Bat Puncher demo. Releases June 30th.
Nice.
And the final game is the Intellivision Collection 2. It's $20, only on Evercade. It's a wide release. And the Intellivision Collector's 2 cartridge for Evercade features 12 beloved Intellivision games, including the legendary role-playing game Tower of Doom and classic dungeon crawler Cloudy Mountain. Releases June 30th.
Nice.
Any of those interest you?
Definitely Phobia. That sounds freaking awesome.
That one and the Oxide Room are the 2 that I was like the most excited for.
I gotta check those out.
And they're a pretty good price.
Yeah. All right. So, as I stated before, our tonight's topic is Max Payne 3. We only played one game this week because Max Payne 3 kind of was within the 10-hour time that we try to strive for. So, it was developed by Rockstar, released in 2013. You can generally beat this in about 9 hours, as I stated earlier. And you can get this for Xbox 360, PC, PS3. It's also backwards compatible with the most current Xbox.
Yeah.
So, in this game, you play as Max Payne 9 years after the events of the second game, working as private security for a wealthy South American family. When one of the daughters is kidnapped, Max and his partner Pesos untangle a deeper mystery. They kind of give you a brief. That's kind of what the story is. So, I told this story in the previous episode, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it again because I do believe it's relevant. I got this game in the year it came out, but I Redboxed it first. I didn't know it came on in 2 discs because Redbox doesn't give you 2 discs for games. So if you were to Redbox a video game, God help you if the game came in 2 discs because they only had disc 1.
Fairly short-sighted of them.
Very short-sighted. I'm not sure how they would do it though, other than like Max Payne disc 1, Max Payne disc 2.
Yeah, or have like a thicker case that can fit two.
Yeah, but either way, I finally did buy the game at full price after I mowed some lawns, and I got to experience the game in full. So I did believe at 22 years old that this game was really, really good. So, however, as a 31-year-old, I don't believe it holds up very well. But before we kind of dive into that, let me go ahead and kind of give people a kind of what the gameplay is like.
Got a quick question for you though.
Okay.
Have you played the other Max Payne games?
I haven't.
You haven't. I haven't either.
But this is a third-person shooter with cover mechanics. One of the major mechanics in this is bullet time. You know, your classic slow down time, and you can like shoot people, everything. There's also a dodge dive, or I don't know what the game calls it.
Like a slow-mo one?
Yeah, it's you dive in slow motion, and it slows down time. It gives you lots of chances to kill enemies. And for your health, you use painkillers. And it makes the story makes it very clear that Max Payne uses painkillers a lot.
He pretty much lives off of alcohol and painkillers.
Yeah. So, what did you play this on, Connor?
I played it on the Series X, the 360 version.
Yeah. I played it on PC. I had a lot of issues with the PC.
Really?
Let me take that back. I didn't really have a lot of issues. I mostly had issues with the cinematics that weren't in game. So I tried to fix it, but then the game refused to run after. So I had it refunded on Steam, and I bought it the Rockstar launcher, and I still had the same issue. I was like, it's only with the cinematics. Actual gameplay, I have no issues, so I just dealt with it.
I wonder if the PC version was borked in some way or another.
I don't know, man. So my thoughts of this is... Oh, I'm sorry if this is all over the place right now, because my notes are all over the place. There is one mechanic in this game I didn't mention, and that's the last stand.
Oh God, I hate that.
Yeah. So if your health gets depleted and you have painkillers, he'll take one, and then you have to kill the person that shot you in order to kind of have a second wind, like in Borderlands. This fucking sucks. And it's because if you are hit behind cover, you don't have a prayer.
No.
You don't. It's just an extended death at that point.
Or if you're out of ammo.
Yes. Why? Why do you have to reload in Last Stand?
You can't reload in Last Stand. You can't.
Oh, you can't. That's right.
So let's say you had one bullet left. You fire that one bullet and you miss. You have to watch your slow death. Let's say you had fired your last shot, then went into Last Stand. You just have to watch yourself slowly die.
Mm-hmm. And I think this probably has to do with the engine that Rockstar uses. Usually Rockstar goes for a semi-realistic experience with the shooting and movements, such as GTA 5, which came out roughly at the same time. However, this engine is designed for open worlds. This does not translate well to a linear third-person fast-paced shooter that with cover-based mechanics. And so these weird wide movements that these characters do, it does not work.
Yeah.
You for a linear third-person shooter, you need to have tight, responsive movements.
I absolutely hate too that on the Xbox controller they tie the reload to X and the reload to B and the cover to X, because I hit the wrong one every single time because I'm so used to games being X is reload.
That's interesting. I didn't really have an issue with that.
I always hit the wrong one, so I'd stand up and get shot.
So, the weapons for you feel incredibly underpowered. When you pop off headshots, it feels really good to land a really good headshot.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how anyone can survive a shotgun blast from 30 feet away.
I would honestly say, too, the weapon damage is inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
There's times where, there's guys who have there's like super heavy armored guys, and there's guys that just have a bulletproof vest, and there's unarmored guys. And there's times where I'm using a fairly high caliber weapon, be it basically the Raging Bull revolver or one of the higher caliber rifles. And,
FAL.
Yeah.
And for those, and full disclosure, I looked this up. And FAL shoots a 7.62 by 51 millimeter bullet. So it's roughly the size as a .308, which is a very popular hunting round. It's just that the 7.62 is slightly lower pressure. It's a big-ass bullet.
I've noticed that just randomly, they'll take either... Some of them will just take one shot to the chest and go down. And you're like, oh, okay. And then others, I was seriously pop, fired my entire magazine into this dude. Didn't go down, stood right back up like nothing happened. I'm like, how? I don't even care that you're wearing a body armor. It would kill you.
Absolutely.
Or you would be so effed up. Every rib in your rib cage would be broken.
Oh, yeah.
You wouldn't hop back up.
And see, and that's the thing. Like, I can understand to a point with some of the armored guys withstanding these shots, but like your basic gang member cartel that's just in cargo shorts and a t-shirt.
Yeah.
There's no way, absolutely no way they could survive a 44 Magnum to the chest.
Yeah.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly frustrating, especially in Red Dead Redemption and GTA. Games made by Rockstar don't suffer from this.
Yeah. Also, did you notice you were playing on PC, so it could be a different situation. I thought this game looked really bad, like very grainy and gross looking.
I thought it looked gross in certain areas, but overall, I think the gameplay looked okay.
I thought it looked like, compared to other games that came out at the time. I'm not trying to put it under the lens of a Series X or a PS5 game, but it just looked gross. Like, there's a lot better looking games that came out right around the same time.
Yeah. So another issue I had with this game is the levels felt way too long.
Yeah, they were inconsistent on that too. There were some very short levels in the very beginning, and like the flashback levels were fairly short, but then like the main levels were incredibly long with very spaced out checkpoints.
Yeah, and I don't understand. Every 10 seconds, Rockstar needs to take control away from you to watch Max walk through a door. And then after you walk through the door, you lose your gun.
Yes, I hate that so much.
And you're just reduced down to your pistol. It's like I don't get it. And even then, because sometimes you can carry your gun into the next room, and I really like the detail that they had with Max carrying a rifle, because he holds it and just shoots his pistol with one hand because it doesn't have a strap on it.
Yeah,
I thought that was a nice, clever touch.
Yes, I thought so too.
It was one of those. It's one of those give or take. Like you can save ammo for your powerful gun and use your pistol at the expense that you can't dual wield, or you can just use your rifle directly.
Yeah.
Or your big gun directly. I thought that was a really interesting thing. However, I don't understand when you exit the previous room holding your rifle, and in the next room he's has the rifle down and using his pistol. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think that's a very poor choice.
The only time where it logically made any sense for you to like lose your weapons is when he had to like climb something, or he's sliding down like a thing when he only has one available hand. It's like, all right, yeah, he might set the rifle or the shotgun down, to do that. But when it's just entering a room or whatever, it's like, really?
And see, and I also think, and I don't know if this kind of falls into it, the design of the levels is hit or miss. At its worst, it's complete utter BS. Did you ever turn a corner and there was a guy immediately around the corner and the shoot? You have no time to react.
Yes. No, the worst when you have no time to react is when there's a cutscene and it brings you into a level and they just drop you off in front of a bunch of guys in front of you with piss for cover in front of you.
Yes.
So you literally have to get shot up and probably lose one of your health bars, from that.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that.
It is this game. I was really surprised, like, why I didn't notice these when I was younger at all, because these choices would get eviscerated in the modern day game. And like and I'm not trying to be like one of those, this game sucks, this is so outdated. You brought up a really good point where like games at the time of 2013 had this shit figured out already.
The Last of Us came out on this generation.
Yeah. And that was a cover-based third-person shooter.
That did it so much better.
Oh, yeah. And it literally took maybe at the most 4 shots to kill a guy in the chest.
Yeah.
Whereas this takes a magazine and a half of a 1911 .45 caliber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't fucking get it. And oh man, what was going to be my next point here? Like we completely eviscerated my notes, by the way. So it's oh man, 3 pages of notes, and we're already.
It's I don't know. For me, this game just like there's so many things about it that could have been simple fixes that would have made it so much better. Like for instance, let's talk about the slow-mo last stand thing, right? You know how you make that better?
Give you infinite ammo.
Either give you infinite ammo, or if you want to be more punishing about it, if I'm out of ammo, kill me right then and there. Don't drag it out. Oh, and another thing we forgot to mention about that last stand thing, if you're facing the wrong way and you get shot from behind and you try to do last stand, you have to slowly pan your gun around. And there were so many times where I slowly pan around, got 3/4 of the way, and just died.
Yeah.
Like, you can't pan around fast enough to do anything.
Like, in that instance, what the game needs to do is automatically orient yourself to the other side. Maybe even 3/4 of the way, and then you finish the last 1/4 to aim.
There was a couple times, too, where I shot the dude after last stand, and then it just did nothing. It just pointed me where I had shot him. Because it tries to drag your cursor to where you... And it just dragged me there, and it just made me watch him be dead and then me die. So that was fun. But like that's a quality of life thing that would be easy. Another thing, with the level design, make better cover. Put better cover out there for us. Or when you walk me into a room, don't drop me right in front of enemies. Like, put them somewhere else.
Yeah, and you actually brought up I actually remembered something here when you mentioned enemies. There are way too fucking many enemies in a room.
I'm pretty sure in that game you kill the entire country of Brazil. Is that where that was at? Brazil?
Yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you kill the entire country.
His kill count is in the thousands.
There is no way there's that many gang members and or that many police force. There is no fucking way.
It's every 10 seconds, too. There is no downtime in this game.
No.
And I think that's one of the fatal flaws of this game is that there is no downtime. You need to give your player moments of rest and recovery. After you clear, let's say, 2 rooms, have there be a low point where you can gather ammo, look for health. If there's any story-related items in the room, let them discover that. They need downtime to recover. Otherwise, they're just going to get frustrated like me. It's like, come on, I'm done with this shit.
And these aren't technical limitations of the 360 and the PS3
no,
era.
This is just Rockstar being fucking Rockstar.
This is just poor game design, poor level design, and poor game functionality. Like so much of this, and I'm not like a game developer, and I'm not going to pretend to be some armchair developer, but like this is easy stuff. These are choices that you made, right? And it was so frustrating. I think, honestly, out of all... I mentioned to you yesterday, out of all the games that we've played for this podcast, this is the one that made me the angriest. I was literally just like screaming such horrible things at the NPCs in this game.
Yeah. And speaking of horrible, segue. This is by far one of the worst bar fights. I wish I was at a bar after this game. One of the worst boss fights of any game I've played.
Yeah.
The concept and the design. Actually, the last boss and the boss before that, in the police station, very bad. Both of them awful. For one, for the one in the police station, they never really established that you can destroy cover.
No.
And that's what you had to do. You had to destroy the ceilings above him to crush him, or at least to get him to move out of cover.
In the meantime, he has a full beat on you, and he has two of the most heavily armored dudes come out in waves at you.
Yeah, it's why. What is
and the cover's terrible for you.
Oh yeah,
it is the worst for you.
Mm-hmm. And the final boss is in an airport hangar. He's shooting grenades at you. You have to manage waves of guys who completely surround you whilst trying to shoot the grenade out of the air and try to get it at the right time so he blows up.
Yes.
Why? Like, I don't get it.
I can't tell you how many times he went to fire the grenade right as I was reloading, and I got hit by it. Like 3 times in a row. And I'm like, come fucking on, man. Also, I don't know if you tried this, but if you make a bolt for the plane to try to get on it, he just blows you up.
Oh, great.
Yeah. But yeah, I hated the airport sequence that was right before where he's shooting with the grenade.
Mm-hmm.
I died so many times there because you have to make it through an entire airport terminal, and if you get killed, you go all the way back to the beginning. So I had to redo that one half a dozen times.
Oh my god.
It was terrible.
There are times the checkpoints were so bad in this game that I was like, you know what, I'm done for the night. I'm gonna go play something else.
I don't blame you. And I think the problems of this game extend further than just the gameplay too. I mean, when you think about it, the characters in this game are just awful.
Yeah. So,
I don't know if you were going to segue into that one, but
kind of. I was going to say that, of course, I'm looking at my notes now. The story is not bad. The story is very confusing. There are characters I'm like, okay, who's that? Who is that person?
Yeah.
They mean nothing to me now. Whereas the voice acting was pretty good.
The voice acting wasn't bad. It's just the character of Max Payne, he's a nothing character. He's an alcoholic who makes stupid choices, and that's his character.
He deliberately, not deliberately, but through his choices, he got 2 people he was supposed to protect killed.
On numerous occasions in the game, during cutscenes, you will have a clear jump on the enemy. You've snuck up on them, they don't know you're there, and he will just walk out in front of them. Just walk out in front of... What the fuck, dude?
Or he's so fucking clumsy, he'll knock over a tanker and they're all alerted.
Yeah!
It's like...
He's like the worst protagonist. And the whole thing, too, is like, the game basically states that you're being played, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he just lets it go at the end. He's just like, okay, I was being played. I'm gonna let it go.
Anyway, I want to drink.
Yeah. Like, his entire character is, I drink, and I take a bunch of pills, and I fuck up everything, and I make stupid choices like walk out in front of people who have guns. And if the enemies in this game had half a brain cell, you would have died the first time he did that. They would have been just like, fuck you. You know, just like shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
Like when the scene where Fabiana and her sister and
oh my god,
and that guy were in that room.
Marcelo.
And they were in that room, and there's a bunch of guys with guns pointed at him, and they're yelling at him and stuff. You just walk in and set your gun down. What was your plan there? What were you going to do? And they just end up like capping the girl right in front of you. You can't do anything. The whole premise of the first act of the game was to save that girl. Dead now. Not important. And then he immediately after that just goes walking through the slums, gets mugged, has everything he has, including his guns, stolen. What was his plan there? Like, he doesn't have a plan. He's just a bad protagonist.
And, like, there is a way you can probably, like, lampshade it or in a way to where, like, maybe he just has bad luck. Like, maybe, because actually, do you remember the boat chase scene where you and Pastos are chasing after the boat with Faviana?
Yeah.
And he goes off a ramp and he's shooting the guys to try to save Faviana. You could accidentally kill Faviana.
Yes, you can. I did it twice.
To me, I think that would be a much better, like, and more effective death for Faviana, because for one, it was just an accident, you know, and he was trying to play hero, and he got the person he was trying to protect killed because of it. To me, that's a lot more tragic. And and I think that I would have sympathy for Max Payne if that happened, you know?
I think it's the juxtaposition of his overall gross incompetence and then the fact that he kills like a super soldier, somehow kills like 500 people throughout the course of the game, maybe more. How
could someone so incompetent have the ability to shoot RPGs out of the air?
Yeah.
Especially when they try to establish this game as realistic.
Yeah.
I guess not really realistic, but it's set in the real world.
Grounded in some level of reality, yeah. He's supposedly like this badass super killer who guns down not only every drug lord in the South America, basically, but he also kills all of the police as well, who are armed to the teeth like military people, but he still makes dumbass choices.
Yeah.
It's like, no. I feel like we're tearing this game to shreds, but I'm really struggling to find something that I liked about it.
We've completely gone off the rails with my notes because I have a lot to say, and I was kind of little behind the scenes. I was kind of hoping it would go in a certain order, but this game is all over the place. Just like, I don't know, man. Just this game was very, very hard to get through. I was really excited to play this game again.
What do you think, compared to your nostalgia for the game, playing it the first time to now? How do you compare those two experiences?
What do you mean?
Like, how did you enjoy it the first time? If you have a nostalgic memory.
I enjoyed it the first time a lot, but probably because of like this is going to be kind of pathetic. This kind of weird power fantasy in a way, to where like, oh, Max Payne, what a loser. Oh, he's saving the day for these, hot girls, Oh man, I was pathetic at 23. Don't laugh at me. But looking at it now as like a married man who has a lot of game experiences under my belt, it does not hold up. Max Payne is a terrible protagonist, at least in this game. I don't know how he is in the previous games.
Yeah. You can be a likable fuck up in games.
Oh yeah.
But not him.
Like, I don't mean to be dead to it. Ellie is a likable fuck up.
Yeah. She makes bad choices.
She makes very bad choices.
But at the same time, she's a very human character.
Mm-hmm.
This guy is not. He's just, I don't even know what you want to. He's not a real person by any means.
No.
He's just.
But I would probably rate this game like a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I honestly was thinking a 5 or a 6, somewhere in there.
I almost want to try to play the first game, and just see how it compares.
I know it's such a beloved franchise, and I remember, I think I've said it in the last podcast, that I've owned this game since it came out. Shortly after it came out. I remember getting it for like $15, maybe like a year after it came out,
Mm-hmm.
way back when, and I just never played it, but I heard good things about it, so I was like, I'll grab it while it was on sale, and this was a good opportunity to play it, and now I'm just like, I can't tell if the game was always crummy, or if it's just one of those games that just, like, didn't age well.
I'd say a little bit of both.
I didn't mention it, but, like, I said the visuals were crummy.
Yeah, you did.
But I didn't like the style either, where it, like, flashes the screen and jumps around during the cutscenes. I hated that so much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how somebody doesn't have a freaking seizure with that. Like,
I don't know, man.
It's a bad-looking game, not just graphically, but stylistically. And bad characters, mediocre story, I guess. It's kind of all over the place. And the gunplay was awful. So it's like, meh.
Mm-hmm. I almost want there to be a mod to where, like, the guns do realistic damage. And at least for the enemies, you know?
Yeah.
Because like Call of Duty is a good example here too. If you play on veteran, you die very fast. You don't take a lot of damage. You can't take a lot of damage on veteran, but the time to kill the enemies is about the same across the board around the difficulties. It's only like a couple shots from a high-powered rifle and they're down.
Yeah.
I think Max Payne could have benefited from that.
Yeah.
Is like give yourself a little bit of plot armor. Of course, you can take a couple shots because you're controlling this character, but powerful weapons like the shotgun and Raging Bull or 44 Magnum or whatever, have them go down in like 2 or 3 shots. You know.
Oh yeah.
And it makes it even more annoying. And I know we didn't mention this before. When the enemies start wearing helmets, because it goes from headshots killing the enemy instantly to the headshots taking 2 to 3 shots to kill.
The worst one is when they first introduced that heavily armored person with
Oh
the
my
machine
God.
gun.
Yeah.
Because the machine gun just like in like a second will like drop your one entire health bar worth.
But we've already eviscerated this game enough as it is. So, as long as
I'm sorry if this was anyone's favorite, but
no, yeah, I am too. Like what you like, it's all fine. But Connor and I just didn't find this game fun.
fastest uninstall in a while.
Yeah. But next week, hopefully, I've never played these games before. Next week, Connor and I will be covering Fury Unleashed and Helmut the Badass from Hell.
Yeah.
I've never heard of these games, so I am really excited to see what these games are about. All I know actually is I think one of them is a dungeon crawler. So
yes, one is a dungeon crawler because I started it last night. Helmut is.
okay.
And the other, I believe, is a side-scrolly shooter that's actually co-op as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if we want to co-op that one. That's an option.
We'll see, because we were going to try to do sharing to try to save me some money.
You think I want to share with you? Yeah, we can share. It's fine.
But I need to see how much they are. I think the last time I checked, I think Helmut was like $30 on Switch.
Really?
Yeah.
Jeez, I think I bought it for like $20.
Oh
well.
We'll just have to check it out. But I think that'll just about do it, guys. I'm sorry if this episode was all over the place, because yeah. There's so much we can talk about this game, but I think we pretty much said everything that we need to say.
Yeah.
Without basically re-recording the entire episode and giving Connor my notes, and we just go with it that way. But it's whatever. But thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.